Governor Udom Emmanuel commends church leadership for partnering the state for sustainable development. Supreme Court of Ibibio traditional rulers announcing transition of Akwa Edidem Akpabio Udopa Oku Iboni Bibio III. Executive of Christian Association of Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State Chapter rounds off statewide tour of churches. Plots. Observers of lunisolar calendar usher in New Year 2017, Year of Rasta. Details in a moment. Good morning, thanks for joining us. I am Emma Cynthia. Governor Udom Emmanuel has expressed optimism that the state will continue to grow according to God's plans, as well as occupying its rightful place in the Committee of Nations. The governor said this while addressing worshippers at the Mountain of Fire and Miracle Ministries, South Regional 3 Headquarters, Uyo. Government House Bureau Chief Colonel Edem Efreti has the details on this.
Governor Udom Emmanuel said despite the lingering economic situation, progress of the state will not be hindered as God will continue to shower his blessings on it. The governor, who noted God is raising praying leaders and strengthening them to lead the people in accordance with his precepts, said he was called not only to lead the state, but to also pray for it. He thanked the church and Christians in the state for standing by him and for praying for the state, saying God has done well for the state.
We normally come to run the affairs of the state. We came also to pray for the prosperity of the state, so that God will help us. Thank you for standing by us. Thank you for praying with us. I know, as far as God lives, our Bible will never be the same in the name of Jesus.
In his sermon, a senior regional overseer of the church, Pastor Peter Felix, said the Spirit of God is at work in his children to lead them into attainment of their divine destiny. Pastor Felix, who preached on the theme, Victory of the Chosen, said, though those chosen by God to serve him in any capacity face daily temptations and attacks from the kingdom of darkness, their victory was assured as long as they placed their faith in God. He called on all to embrace Christ and surrender their lives to him, adding that only then will they be served and fulfilled.
And the same message, the same prophecy happened on every chosen person. The divided of him person.
The church presented gifts to the governor, his wife, and the deputy governor at the service, which featured prayers for the state and nation. The Mountain of Fire and Miracle Ministries choir sang to uplift the worshippers' spirit.
Akwa Ibom students have been advised to shun frivolities, to maintain a positive attitude towards their studies, as well as develop their talents and skills for a better future. The Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Charles Udo, gave the advice when the executive members of the Uyo Students Association worldwide paid him a visit in his office. Mr. Udo encouraged the students to be hardworking, as well as make use of their God-given talents and skill, even as he pledged his support to the group. He told them that the current economic realities have made it imperative for anyone who has the opportunity to acquire their various skills in addition to academic qualifications to use it to economically become relevant. The president of the Uyo Students Association Worldwide, Comrade Victor John, congratulated the commissioner on his appointment and thanked God for sparing his life during the collapse of the Reina's Bible Church building on December 10, 2016. The leadership of the State Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has visited some churches in the Uyo Senatorial District in continuation of its statewide tour of churches to encourage and strengthen worshippers. The visit, according to CAN chairman The Reverend Ndweso Ekwere is also to create awareness and sensitize Christians on the state of the nation. Livingstone Daniel accompanied the team and found this report.
The Reverend Ekwere was accompanied by his wife Deaconess Ekaite Ekwere and the State Council Secretary Bishop Emmanuel Libiti. He visited the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Dominion Mega Parish, Aran Road, the Apostolic Church, 69 Aran Road, and the Solid Rock Kingdom Church, Uyo. Addressing Christians at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the Reverend Ekwere said a situation where some people have risen in challenge of their Creator has made God regret creating them in the first place. He noted that there may be a conspiracy in top quarters to tactically eliminate Christians in Nigeria or stop them from worshiping God by constantly killing and burning down churches, a situation he described as unacceptable by the leadership of Khan. Although he stressed that as Christian cleric, he cannot advise them to take up arms against people of other religion, Reverend Ekwere charged Christians to intensify prayers for God's intervention and call on Christians to be more vigilant.
We have only been praying without watching, and we have been used as underdogs. We have been used as slaves in our Father's house. No longer can we continue like this. Enough is enough. Everybody voted. Whoever there is in the position of authority, both Muslims and Christians, we cannot just sit down and see the Muslims try to Islamize this country.
At the Apostolic Church, 69 Aran Road, Reverend Ndweso Ekwere intimated the church that Khan as a body has received a call from the public on the arrival of 20 strange persons in the state in a lorry. The people, according to him, dressed suspiciously in the attire of a particular religion. He called on security agencies to investigate the claim to ascertain the mission of such people in the state. At the Solid Rock Kingdom Church, he told the congregation that Nigeria is a secular nation, and as such, Christians cannot be servitude in their fatherland, stressing that any action or activities aimed at undermining Christianity will be resisted by the church. The current chairman called on churches to pray for Governor Dumi Emmanuel and President Muhammadu Buhari for God's wisdom to be able to live right.
The church is where we have a whole bulk of Christians, especially a day like this. In times like this, we need to give them adequate awareness and sensitization about the state of the nation, the security consciousness that we are supposed to be aware of.
In all the churches visited, the current leadership were warmly received by the pastors in charge of the church, including Pastor Fidelis Woduka, Apostle Samuel Exayan, and Pastor Linus Ukoena, who stood in for Apostle John Koriko. They pledged the church's support for all kind decisions and activities. Livingstone Daniel reporting.
The 2017 Women's Fellowship Annual Rally of the United Evangelical Church Uyo Area Conference has ended with a call on participants to be more committed to spreading the gospel of Christ. The state chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Reverend Ndweso Ekwere, met the call at the rally held at the United Evangelical Church, Itam Superintendent in Itu local government area. Etienne Ibana completes the story.
Clad in colorful uniform, the women were drawn from Afianze district, Ibedu Autonomous Congregation, Ikemesit, Ikorimo, Ikorokunsit, Itam, Nsretai, Ikorokuikono, and Uyo Superintendencies, making the Uyo Area Conference of the Church. The event, tagged Rally of Purity, had the theme, Be Thou an Example of the Believer. Addressing the women, the state chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, the Reverend Ndweso Ekwere, charged them to let their conduct and lifestyle portray the deeds of Jesus Christ. Reverend Ekwere, who is also the superintendent of Itam Superintendency of the church, said that when the word of God influences their words, action and behavior, those in darkness will come to light. calling on Christians to beware of what he termed the antics of the wicked. The CAN chairman stressed the need for people to be vigilant and security conscious at home and churches.
Women should stand out anywhere and know the Lord and preach the gospel. They should shine in every dark place, especially in times like this. Their action and by their speeches and their movements, they have to preach the gospel as they have been taught.
The chairman of Itu Local Government Area Transition Committee, Deaconess Elsie Sarah, urged women to be vessels of honor, imbibe the word of God, and have pure hearts if they must be seen as example of the believer. Deaconess Sarah, who anchored her talk on purity, called on them to always forgive one another, apologize when necessary, and appreciate those with superior performances.
You will not only discover yourself, you will discover so much about your husband, even your family, the family where you are in, everything about your children, you will discover it.
Deaconess Emma Etugudo delivered a talk on the theme of the rally, Be Thou an Example of the Believer, while Deaconess Mfanobong Osam spoke on the caption, Be an Example in Faith. They advised the women to rise and shine, eschew sin, and lead by example for others to see. The president, Zio Area Conference Women's Fellowship, Deaconess Imed, said the theme of the rally was chosen to remind women to be role models, pace-setters, and trailblazers in the family, church, and society. Deaconess said women should help in building others according to their needs, the fellowship, church, and home by demonstrating Christ's love to one another.
Coming together in the presence of God for them to continue impart their spiritual life on daily basis by knowing that without Christ, no other source can be possible for them for their sustenance.
Goodwill message was received from the national chairman of the United Evangelical Church. High points of the rally included thanksgiving, song renditions, and rededication of Uyo Area Conference Women's Fellowship members. Etienne Ibanga reporting.
I am Emma Ntia, and you're watching AKBC TV News at 7. Stay with us. Welcome back. Qualified applicants who received genuine employment letters in 5,000 teachers recruitment exercise are to undergo an aptitude test to ascertain their preparedness and validate their slots. Governor Udom Emmanuel said these while responding to questions by students on the fate of applicants in the recruitment exercise and other issues. The occasion was at the Students' Town Hall meeting held at the Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic, Ikot Asura. Uyoko Usua reports that the Town Hall meeting, which drew student delegates from all tertiary institutions in the state, also featured the inauguration of the Social Service Volunteer Scheme.
Represented by the Commissioner for Education, Mr. Paul Udofia, Governor Udom Emmanuel said that the streamlining processes for the recruitment are to ensure that Akwa Ibom children are mentored only by qualified and capable hands. He noted that the education system in the state needed more than 5,000 teachers, stressing that as soon as arrangements were concluded by the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the State Universal Basic Education Board and the State Secondary Schools Board, the public would be duly informed on the recruitment process. On the issue of limited or non-accreditation of some courses in some tertiary institutions in the state, the governor assured that his administration gives priority to education and has devoted sizable resources to address the challenge. Governor also advised the students to give attention to education so as to be useful to themselves and contribute meaningfully to the development of the society. Other guests at the students' meeting included the Commissioner for Works and the Special Advisor to the Governor on Political, Legislative Affairs and Water Resources, who were represented by their permanent secretaries. In their remarks, The government functionaries urged the students to imbibe the virtues of humility, diligence, and hard work. They commended the Special Assistant to the Governor for the initiative to start the Student Social Services Volunteer Scheme and promised to support the scheme to enable it achieve the desired impact. The Special Advisor to the Governor on Political, Legislative Affairs and Water Resources also promised to wade into the leadership tussle and crisis rocking the National Association of Akwa Ibom State Students worldwide with a view to resolving it.
You must rise up to the fact of your greatness. Students are here. My message for you today, you must stoop to conquer. The thing is in you. It is not enough for you to send your students abroad. The same day will come back to Nigeria to look for work, but there was a global village. What is in Sokoto is also in Sokoto.
The Special Assistant to the Governor on Students' Matters, Otoborong Akpan, expressed gratitude to the state government for being alive to student-related issues. She thanked the state government for approving and participating in the Students' Town Hall meeting, stressing that it has improved the relationship between students, the government, as well as the school authorities.
Before now, it was always very difficult for students to be able to communicate their problems. That is why we used to protest a lot those days. We used to burn tires a lot. We used to do a lot of things to make sure that the government look at our own side. But today there is a linkage, so it's easier for us to communicate our problems. I want to say once again, thank you, His Excellency, for this opportunity you've given Nigerian students.
The maiden Students' Town Hall meeting featured the installation of the Commissioner for Works as Grand Patron of the Students' Social Services Volunteer Scheme. A tree was planted as prelude to the 10,000 coconut trees to be planted on the campus through the scheme. Uyo Kuswa reporting.
Thank you, Yuko Swa. The Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Charles Udoh, has condemned the manner by which the office of the Governor has been abused by the people, saying that the sanctity of the office must be respected. Mr. Udoh, who said this during a visit to him by members of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, Akwa Ibom State, enjoined Akwa Ibom people to accord the office of the Governor the respect it deserves. He explained that Mr. Udoh Emmanuel is not a governor of the PDP, but governor of all, regardless of political, religious, or ethnic inclinations. The Commissioner said that Governor Udoh Emmanuel is transparent, passionate, and committed to serving Akwa Ibom State, and called on members of Inter-Party Advisory Council to give their support to him. While assuring that the state government was committed to its 5-point agenda, the Commissioner charged the citizenry to key into the vision of industrialization, where emphasis is placed on entrepreneurship, capacity building, and empowerment. The Special Assistant to the Governor on Inter-Party Matters, Mrs. Martins Udoh, in his response acknowledged the various projects undertaken by the Governor Udoh Emmanuel. Mr. Udoh was commended members of IPAC for resolving their differences, who urged them not to relent in their support for the success of their administration. Speaking, the chairman of Inter-Party Advisory Council, Akwa Ibom State, Engineer Martins Inyang, congratulated the committee